Challenge ourselves constantly, I believe, is the key. And this gives us a lot of purpose when we wake up in the morning. It doesn't always have to be a brutal challenge. It doesn't always have to be something that we think we might fail at. Actually, I think a lot of the time, I think this is a problem, which is probably for another show, but a side note on people setting goals is that we've been told so often that we need to have big, hairy, scary goals that we might fail at because that'll drive us. And therefore, because people are scared of failure, we've created a society where people are not actually setting goals because failure is not acceptable. So it doesn't have to be such a huge challenge. Your sport, your pursuit doesn't have to be such a huge challenge that it scares you every single day, but there has to be something in it that keeps us challenging ourselves to get better and therefore become better humans. And as we say here in a fight, to constantly get better at life. So there's 2 or 3 questions that I always ask pretty much out of the blocks. Firstly, does what I'm going to do or what I'm planning to do for my fitness pursuit today, does it excite me? Does this excite me? Does going to a CrossFit class excite me? Does going to a Zumba class, can it ever excite you? I don't know. Anyhow, sorry. I'm sorry, all the Zumba and vegans out there. Does eating vegan excite me? No. Anyway, we'll carry on. Does what I'm going to do, what I'm waking up to do today, does it excite me? If it doesn't, and it doesn't excite you on a repetitive basis, i.e., you wake up 5 days a week and 3 days a week, you're not excited about going to a Zumba class. I can't say Zumba and not make a joke about it, so I'll stop using Zumba because otherwise I'll just be sat here on my own thinking I'm funny and you guys will get bored of it. But if 3 days out of 5 you wake up to come to a CrossFit class at InnerFight and you're not excited, then you obviously have quite a serious problem that needs to be addressed. The second question, I think, and obviously on the flip side, is if you're waking up every morning and you are very excited to follow your fitness pursuit, no matter what it is, then that is something that is super positive. And if you have a very varied, a very diverse following of fitness or a very diverse range of fitness activities that you follow, that is making you excited every single day, then you are probably onto something which is a great formula. The second thing that I am always interested in is how do we measure A, your excitement, but B, how challenging the activity that you're following actually is. And I'm going to come on to give some more examples about that, because for a lot of us, and an old phrase is, if we can measure it, we can manage it. But if things are not super measurable, and they don't have to be really anally measurable, you don't need an app or anything like that. But if there is a certain measure in place, which could be progress within a sport, could just be satisfaction at the end, could be a happiness score, could be, like I was saying before, a sort of excitement score, then our chances of being able to look at that data over a period of time, which, yes, it becomes a little bit geeky, but one great exercise that I work with a lot of people on that I coach is a simple question of how excited are you about the day? And for some people, it might be a 3, which is you're literally doing backflips out of bed. A 2 is, yeah, it's kind of okay. And a 1 is, I'm not excited about today at all. I track that over a period of time and try and link it to different activities or what's going on in people's life. Now we have measures in place. We have some data that we look at over a period of time. And this helps us to, rather than it being a knee-jerk reaction, oh, today was shit, well, tomorrow might be great, and the day before could have been great. And actually, we're dwelling on one shit day a week where you might have had 6 really good ones. So any measure in anything, I feel, will really help us to understand whether it's the right thing to continue to pursue. And the third thing is, which is related to the measure, is it doesn't have to have a measure to start, but the question is here is what does progress look like? So a lot of people will say that they're demotivated because they're not progressing in their chosen fitness pursuit or in any area of life. And speaking of which, most of this can apply to most different areas of life. However, they don't really define what progress is. So they don't define where they are at the start of the process, and they don't define where they want to get to. So it's very difficult to define what progress is. And therefore, when there is no progress, there sometimes becomes no motivation, there becomes no purpose, and then things stop. Hopefully those three things make a little bit of sense. But progress is important. I think if you're going to follow a fitness pursuit, you want to know what progress is. And progress can be many different things. Progress could be getting faster at running. Progress could be lifting more on your deadlift in the gym. Progress could be losing weight. Progress could be getting better skin complexion from being healthier. Progress could be a number of different things. But if we do not understand what progress is, then it's very difficult to progress. I think I used progress a lot in the last few minutes. Hopefully that helps. So 3 key things. Does this excite me? How do I measure it? And what is progress? If you can peg those things to immediately, or start to create some feeling immediately on your fitness pursuit, then related to those 3 criteria, I think you start in a very positive position.